Okay, I will call the meeting to order. If you call the roll, please. Here. Present. Here. Here. Here.
Here.
Okay. Let us stand and say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendships among the united cultures.
Right. Say welcome to everyone who's here. And we will go on to approve the minutes. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the meeting's minutes for October 14th, 2024.
I'll make that motion to approve the minute.
Second.
I have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. On to new business. We have a review of our annual report. Miss Lovelady, are you going to go through a few things?
So since last year, we met both times, but not exactly this year. And just to go over the applications we heard, we did 3 reclass, 8 special use permits, and these were all the ones that were just approved. The ones that were denied. 3 zone changes, 10 variances, 1 summary subdivision, 3 vacation and right of ways, 1 annexation. Which was approved by you guys, but then denied council. And then total applications denied in the last year, there was 9 applications denied by the planning and zoning. And then the attendance for the current members. You want to review overall. Oh, we go the next one.
You going?
Yeah, one more. Okay. So. We don't really talk about this. They're there, bring it in. Term history goes through the beginning of the planning commission to current. And then our past commissioners, we go to that. And then on the last page, this is the current commission and how long you all have served. You guys have any questions about? Yeah.
Do not. Okay. All right, then we will go on to item B. Reconsideration of resolution PC number 2024-2025-27. Resolution providing for a variance at no site address for a garage that does not meet Portales Municipal Code in an R2 zone, submitted by Dustin Dixon. I will entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to go into public hearing. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, now we're in public hearing. Miss Lovelady is going to give us a brief rundown, and then we will have Mr. Dixon get up and speak after he's sworn in.
So this application is coming back to planning and zoning after it was initially denied in September. Mr. Dixon did make the appeal to city council. At city council, he agreed to some changes with them, and so they suggested it come back to planning and zoning to be reconsidered with those changes. They were considering it as like a new application since it changed. So what he changed mainly was the size Where do you go? Oh, sorry. So we didn't send out any more letters since we did already hold a public hearing for it, but I did publish it in the newspaper on November 3rd with that. And then, so this is the new plot plan we submitted, for the 50 by 35 by 16 carport. Originally, you had submitted it by 65 by 45 by 16. And so at this time, here to be assigned for that variance for the height of the structure. Which again, the maximum height is allowed is the 12 feet, so the variance would be for the height. And then he is here tonight to go over the application.
Okay, thank you. Will you stand? You'll have to go over there and she will swear you in.
Please state your name.
Dustin Dixon.
Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm that you will testify truthfully the law.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So tell us kind of what your new plan.
Well, I moved it off of the property line border,
Okay,
there was an issue. I moved it off of the city street, which was an issue. And then I shrunk down the size as small as we possibly could. And then I turned it to match the pitch of my house. So it would be in line, okay, lined everything up correctly. It's about all we could do.
yeah. And it says you are gonna color match everything.
Yes, that- And we could even stuff with a plaster, if that's something that you need, whatever. It doesn't really matter, whatever I need to do.
Yeah. So the garage doors are gonna come off L
Towards the vacant lot.
towards where Bernalillo dorm used to be, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. Toward
Well, the
vacant
parking lot.
Parking lot.
And do you know your? And I don't see the number on here. I know the lot's 133. How far back off 18th, say from the curb?
I think we were gonna go, 20 back and it's 133 feet from that alley to 18th Street. So
Okay,
there's gonna be about 50 to 60 foot on the south.
south side.
Yes.
Okay. And I know why you want 16-foot sidewalls.
Yeah, I have a fifth wheel and I have a boat and I
Right.
just don't want to park it all out and I would actually.
Any other questions, comments?
So your house, I know is stucco. Are you considering stuccoing this as
Yes.
well?
Yes, I have talked to Herbert's about even doing it all wood and. People roof, we can make it. Which our house is not done yet. We're still contractors, but. We're doing work on our house at the same time.
And you have the house right there on technically what street is it on? Is it considered L?
Yeah, it's, well, the address is actually 17th Lane,
That's what I wondered.
but it sits on.
Right, the front door comes off L.
Yes, it is. It's gonna be exactly the same. From the side, it'll look the same.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments? Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Dixon, for coming in tonight. I will entertain a motion to go out of public hearing. So moved. I have a motion and a second to go out of public hearing. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Okay, we're back in regular meeting. So I will entertain a motion to approve or deny the variance for this property on sidewall height.
I just want to say that I appreciate Mr. Dixon going over there and making changes in his plans. And I like the thought of having it stuccoed so that it does match his home. So I make the motion that we approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion to approve and a second. Call the roll, please.
Peter,
Yes.
Yes.
McFarland,
Yes.
Walden,
Yes.
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 Okay, so that has been approved and they will go to city council
December
December.
December 3rd.
December 3rd. Yeah, so thank you again for coming tonight. Okay, our next item. Item C. Public hearing for resolution PC number 2024-2025-32. A resolution providing for a variance at 1301 South Avenue D for manufacturing cannabis products in a C2 zone. Submitted by Enchanted Desert Farms. I will entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to go into public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, we are in public hearing. Miss Lovelady's gonna give us a rundown.
So this application is for a variance, for producing cannabis,
Manufacturing.
or, yeah, manufacturing, sorry.
That's okay.
Producing cannabis products. So yeah, manufacturing, and Mr. Viscaino is here to kind of go over that more. I'm just kind of here to.
Detail.
So, the location is there on 1301 South Avenue D. So we published, public hearing on 11/3 in the East New Mexico News. We sent 11 certified letters to property owners. There was 2 forwarded proposal number against. 6 certified letters sent to public utilities, and there was no response from any public utilities for this application. So, the reason that they're asking for the variance today is because they're wanting to produce a product of cannabis. And in our ordinance for cannabis cell manufacturing, consumption, manufacturing means compound, blend, extract, reduce, package, or otherwise prepare a cannabis product. So we did previously give special permission for packaging, because all they were doing was packaging from jars, packages, selling that to customers. So we did give them permission to do that as of right now, but since they are wanting to actually produce a product, we are having them do it. So that's all I have for you guys. And then, if you have any questions?
Okay. Mr. Viscano, do you want to come up and get sworn in, please?
State your name. Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm that you will testify truthfully here in the council as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I am Simon Biscayne, I'm the general manager of Enchanted Desert Farms. My wife is the owner. We started out our business out on the highway. It was just a small building, we really do anything in there. But we got a chance to purchase a larger building. So we purchased it, we won't be greening, we won't be growing, there will be no production. It all stays out at our farm. What we're trying to do is move our manufacturing license, which allows us to basically package pre-rolls, flour into pre-rolls. We will be doing like carts. We have a little cart machine, all heat, nothing volatile. The most manufacturing going to be doing is like packaging flour, packages, pre-rolls, and other things. We'll be manufacturing raw, which that is a non-volatile process, which involves ice and water, turning it into what we call bow hash. And then we press it with heat and pressure. Like I said, non-volatile, no smells, like it won't be reeking up the neighborhood or nothing like that. It's just, we have the opportunity to expand our manufacturing abilities because we have our bartenders that are already there to help us with that manufacturing process. That's not, as opposed to it just being my wife producing, hundreds of pre-rolls and packaging stickers and all that. It's just going to be a little more efficient for us. And like I was saying, any of the manufacturing we're going to be doing involve dry cannabis or something that's already been manufactured out of somewhere else. They bring it to us in bulk and just package.
Any questions, comments?
Is this something new when you moved here and then decided to do this?
Well, some of it fell upon the state, so when we were out there, we got inspected twice by the state. We asked them, since packaging is considered manufacturing in the state of New Mexico, we asked the inspectors, hey, so are we okay? Well, in the state of New Mexico, the license that we have is an integrate or a micro business. So we're only allowed the 3 licenses for our small business. Now, they don't allow you to get any other licenses if you are a micro business. So the first inspector said, no, you're fine because you can't get another license. You already have it, and all you're doing is packaging flour. You're not doing anything else here. Second one came about, same thing. They were fine with it, everything was good. Third one came about at the new shop, and one was like, no, you can't do it. So we made us pull all of our cannabis off the shelf, and we had to take it back to our manufacturing facility, package it, and bring it back. Now with cannabis, I don't know if folks know a lot about cannabis, but there's people that like to see their flower, they like to see their product, they like to, be able to smell it, and it reduced our sales greatly, just that happen. So thankfully, they granted us a temporary, and all we did was package flour with it, we kept doing everything else over there. Yeah. We've already put it to the state for the manufacturing license, they've already approved it. We just need approval to do the packaging and stuff. Like I said, it's nothing dangerous. It's nothing smelling, smell of the neighborhood. And like I said, the biggest process we're doing, ice and water, heat and pressure. That's basically it.
Any other questions, comments? No, I will say thank you. And I would entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Have a motion and a second to go out of public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, we're back in regular meeting. I will entertain a motion to either approve or deny the manufacturing cannabis products variance for Enchanted Desert Farms.
Make a motion that we approve it.
I'll second.
I have a motion to approve in a second. Call the roll, please.
Jane,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Papa,
No,
David,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that has been approved and it will go to the city council on the 3rd. Sorry, sir.
Would this be a tax pass? Why no? I just want to understand.
I think if you have a facility that you're already doing it at, then it should probably be used, continue to be used.
We are using it.
Right.
We're doing more production in it. But like I was saying, it increases our efficiency as a business, and right now, cannabis industry is cut though. Like there's no money in it. We don't hardly pay our bills, so the drop in sales just from something so simple highly affects my family and my budget. So that's that.
I understand that, but there's been other people in that same area that have come in who've wanted the zone change and we've denied them. So here we are at the same, kind of at the same vicinity, and we're saying yes. So.
And thank you.
Okay. Any other business?
Yeah, so Mrs. Warrenbach is aware that she came out and looked at it with us, but we do have something that came up after all this was submitted, so we're gonna bring it to you guys for your recommendation how to proceed. There is Elk Street, not sure how familiar you are with it, it's about 30-foot wide. Originally, it was actually supposed to be a 60-foot wide street. That's what it's flagged as. But only 30 feet of it was developed. That has caused some confusion on people who live on that street and their understanding where the property lines are. So unfortunately. Well, a lot of the properties are very overbuilt. And I'm saying like. Very, very overbuilt, like front of houses, all their front yards, porches, that kind of stuff, are actually on city-owned property. And I don't think it was done maliciously, I just generally, most times it's 5 feet from the curb is where your front property line starts, and they weren't aware that it was actually, 30 feet from the property line, or curb is where their property line started. So we had started on an easement on another property, we were asked by city council to look into the overbuilding. And it said it's very bad. So we're gonna come to you guys' recommendation for council on how we should proceed. There are quite a few options. But all the options can be costly to the homeowner. So now that we're aware it's been overbuilt, we can request all the property owners get easements. But the easements require a professional survey, which can sometimes be about $500. And if it gets denied, you get the easement. And you've already spent the money on it. They can, the city's shown interest in letting them buy the land, but if they can't afford to buy the land or get the appraiser. Or the appraised value, that's something they can apply for a right of way. But again, someone's gonna have to pay for that survey to vacate that right of way. Ms. Laura can kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at here.
And we're talking mainly on just one side of the street.
Yeah,
So we have surveyed from the highway all the way to Globe, which is just on the side here. So it started with this property here, he came in for a permit for a carport, and I looked at the survey. And I was like, oh, their property. So it kind of started there, but so his property line is actually like way back here.
Yeah.
So all of these houses, I mean, like that's overbuilt, they have dentists that are overbuilt unknowingly because generally, the 5 feet from the curb rule is there. But in this case, like Kelly was said, they underdeveloped this road in a way, they didn't develop it to its full width. So if you have a chance to go by, there may still be flags there. I think there was probably like 5 or 6 flags.
yeah, pink flags.
That go all the way, I know there's like one here, that go along here, and it just kind of gives you an idea of how much.
So the trailer there that's sitting off by itself, yep, that has about 2 feet of that trailer on the
Yes.
city property.
Yeah, so about 2 feet of the front of that house is on city property.
And basically when this was developed, if you had to guess.
I think we looked, the original plats are from like the 80s, so this has been there a long time.
Yeah.
It just came up when that property sold and they tried to build a carport. And then, of course, because we treat one person, or you need to get easement or buy their property. The expectation is we treat everybody the same,
Right.
and that's why this came to light, and we're seeking your recommendation today.
Surprising that with everything being sold and bought, that never came to light before.
It's older than that. I dated a girl that lived in one of those houses back in.
Oh my gosh, it was a while.
But you're only 35. Thank you, I like you.
30 feet, whereas like over here, it's probably about like 10 or 15 feet. Cause the road kind of things like that, but so that is something that we're just gonna be bringing for recommendation at the next meeting, like kind of how to move forward.
But, you guys do a lot of good stuff, so we'd like to bring it here for your guys' recommendation.
Somebody had to see it. It's more time to do it.
So there's several things that could either be done. But the thing is, it's the cost to the residents. I mean, there's several of them that they'll have to get a survey, and we all know surveys are expensive. And if they don't have the money for the survey, then they won't have the money to buy the property. So we can either have them get a survey and we put easements, or they get a survey and they buy the property, or
You can vacate the right of way.
I was gonna say,
but that's gonna take an easement as well.
So it'd take, survey, someone would have to
Yeah,
do
sorry.
the survey and the application.
each person would.
You
Each
could-
person,
one person they could all chip in and do one big
But
survey.
the city can't do it.
So that would be, you could recommend it. One of the points I'd have to bring up is when people overbuild, it's a precedent you'll be setting that the city will then pay for the documents that they need to legally have that property there.
Right.
So it's a kind of a rough precedent to set.
But on the other hand, like you said, none of it was probably done maliciously.
I know, I don't
And
believe so.
all the building that happened was under the city's.
Yeah, so when they turn in, which is, they built this long before me, when they turn in a permit, they say we're gonna be 20 feet from the property line. So. it's
Everyone
approved.
just assumed the property line was the road.
So we said, yes, if you're more than likely, we said, yes, you're gonna be in compliance. They just didn't realize that their property line was unfortunately 20 feet back.
And unfortunately, the fourth thing is we know that how city council has been going. They have been having residents move their fences and everything else like that. So that will probably be an issue too. They will probably recommend everybody moves everything on, which means their carports and everything else, fences and
A
everything.
house.
A house. But I don't believe that the residents know this yet.
No, we did the survey, we weren't thinking it was gonna be quite as bad as it was. But we didn't want to start a panic when we literally have no idea how we're gonna proceed.
Right.
So we'd like to get some clarification on how to proceed so we even know what to tell them.
I think number one would be to have the residents know. Because my thing is, and I even suggested it to y'all, is to get them all on board and pay a surveyor to go and survey. They'll probably have to do the whole block, which you're probably looking at $2,000 to maybe $5,000 to get that whole block done. But the only thing is that you can't have 3 residents on board and the other 2 or 3 not on board.
Right. They can't afford it or.
And so I think one of the recommendations you can do is recommend a public hearing. Where maybe in December, after you recommend that they receive certified letters informing them of the overbuilt, set a public hearing probably at December's P and Z meeting. And listen to any recommendations or concerns they may have before you make a recommendation, and that's definitely something you can do tonight as well.
I think the city ought to participate in some of that survey too.
I do believe so. And the sad thing is that the city already has a survey to know that this has occurred. And we can use it.
Correct, we just paid for
Well-
them to market. They didn't actually do
A full survey.
they didn't actually do a paper survey, just put the flags down to give us an idea what we were going into.
And we cannot just use that.
Unfortunately, not for this because it has to be filed. So that it does have to be a survey that marks whether the easements or marks the vacation, the right of way, something that legally documents that we'll be doing.
I don't know. I think we
Well,
have
I'm
to,
with you. I think
I have,
the homeowners need to be informed and.
Yep.
They need to be part of this discussion.
and we need to have a surveyor who's willing to work with them. I mean, because I don't know how many surveyors there are out there that are willing to take payments from different homes, different residences. So we also have to find a surveyor who's going to be willing to do that. I mean,
That's just bizarre because you would think every time those houses have traded. That somebody went in there and did a survey.
well, the
Said-
realtor, I would have thought,
Bank, the.
Yes.
realtor,
Yep.
Well, and that's why when
The
Ellis
city,
sold,
the county.
they removed the fence. Cause that property used to be fenced, so when they sold, they just removed the chain link fence to get rid of the easement. So you can't just remove the obstruction to sell the house and then put the obstruction back. So that's at least how they sold and got through that one house. And then there is, as Ms. Laura reminded me, we have overbuilt on their property in the back. Our sewer line is about 7 feet into their backyard. So. One of the property owners interested in trading back property. They gave us 10 feet of the back property, they get 10 feet of our front property, that's still quite a bit of deed changes and. That kind of stuff, that's also a possibility the water department's looking at. But all the property owners have to be on board on that, and unfortunately, 10 feet doesn't cover all of
What everybody.
the overbuilding.
Right. And I know there is some precedent about property has been marked for X amount of time. Is that not applicable?
I believe in the county, if your fence line has been there 7 years, then that becomes your property.
But not city
I do
property.
not believe we have that on city property, but I can look into it. It's not a precedent I've been made aware of.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think our first step is you're gonna have to notify all the property members and we need to have a meeting.
So everyone's good with, we'll send certified letters to anyone and then set a public hearing for December's meeting.
So. Sooner the better. More rumors start going.
Yes.
You know how that works.
Meeting with these residents, I'll be willing to donate to for people who can't really afford a whole lot. Because that's not their fault, man, it's
Right.
I'm willing to help out. So
Not gonna be grandfathered in, wait.
you let them know that we have people that can help with those things.
I would really like to see on what we can do because the road has been there for so long. So it's kind of as if the city has given up their right. Because this has been going on for so many years. Cause I know that one of those houses is over 40 years old.
Correct. We do have to be very careful about land donations, and donations to the city. The city can get a lot of trouble if, they give away things for free, especially land. So that's. We'll
I'm not-
definitely have to look into that very closely.
And I'm not saying to give it away for free, but you have to understand that these homeowners are probably on a budget or something like that. And they cannot afford both purchase of the property as well as a survey.
So
So
that can be your recommendation to the council, the city foot, whatever part of the bill, as I said, that'll just be. We'll just bring up the precedent that is being set, and unfortunately recommend against it. And that not being saying they can't accept it and move forward with it.
There was a survey done,
there had to have been a survey.
and to come back now and say, well, I'm sorry, but all of these people have made a mistake and you're gonna have to pay for it now.
Yep.
It's just not right. Like, if I owned one of those houses, I'd have to go have a discussion with who surveyed it when I bought the house.
Yep.
And then
I say we'll make a recommendation that staff notify all the residents to be put on with the next meeting.
Comment here.
I just had a quick,
Oh.
can you guys look up and see who did the road? I don't believe they're the ones that have to map it out first.
Yeah.
Well, the city should have made sure the development standards were met when it was developed. though,
Right.
Really, so.
And they might have decided against it, thinking it was not needed and just use half their property.
It's a
I'm
series
not
of
sure what the-
unfortunate events.
City of word.
Yeah.
This goes on YouTube tomorrow morning and it'll get watched. Just a heads up.
Yeah. We're okay. So, my recommendation to staff.
And it's a non-action item, but if there's no one against that or has recommendation, that's the one to move forward.
Anything else? Anything? Okay. Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Okay, you're adjourned.